Welcome to Be Less Stupid. I'm your host, John Hotchkiss, with late breaking news. President Trump has fired the head of the FBI, James Comey. Perhaps he's getting too close to Trump's connections with Russia. From the earliest days of his campaign, Donald Trump has emphatically asserted that he has nothing to do with Russia.
She always likes to tie me in with Russia. I have nothing to do with Russia, folks, okay?
In fact, just a few minutes before I recorded this, Sean Spicer said that earlier today, President Trump's lawyer sent a letter to Senator Lindsey Graham that stated he has no business ties with Russia. And yet, there are like a gazillion allegations that President Trump has taken money from Russian mobsters and oligarchs to finance construction around the world, that he owes and laundered multiple billions of dollars for Russian banks, oligarchs, and mobsters, that there are compromising videos of Trump with Russian prostitutes, and that he and his cronies colluded with Russia to hack the U.S. election to ensure Trump's victory.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
And by the way, how is that not already evidence of collusion? Trump asked Russia to hack Hillary's email, and they did. Anyway, back to the money. Because Trump owes the Russians money, and those Russians allegedly have compromising video, he can't welch on his debt. So, as the theory goes, he is secretly working to advance his own family's business interests to pay them back, and Russia's interests too. Interests which include 1. Squashing revolutionary uprisings among Russian citizens. 2. Increasing Soviet power on the world stage. And 3, perhaps most importantly, Russia wants continued access to the oil and gas that they got when the Soviet military invaded Crimea. That gas and oil is worth multiple billions of dollars. And it's not just loons on the left who have made these allegations. There's the U.S. intelligence services.
I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. And that includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
Every credible media source in the U.S. and around the world has confirmed Trump's Russia connections. Most startling is this one from the USA Today, not known as a liberal bastion. To expand his real estate developments over the years, Donald Trump turned to wealthy Russians and oligarchs from former Soviet republics, several allegedly connected to organized crime. And just this week, evidence of Trump's collusion with Russia was confirmed by U.S. Representative Eric Swalwell.
There's a pattern here, John, on the classified and unclassified side of deep personal, political, and financial ties that Donald Trump and people in his family, in his businesses, and on his campaign had with a foreign adversary in Russia that converged at the same time that Russia was interfering with our campaign.
Plus, I have uncovered a little seen or talked about 11-year-old quote from Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, that if true, and I have no reason to doubt it, also confirms why Donald Trump would act as a puppet for Russia's interests as President of the United States. In 2006, the New York Post, owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News and is by all accounts a friend of Donald Trump's, reported that on a trip to Saint-Tropez for a party thrown by Puff Daddy, in which she brought her daughter Ivana, the first Mrs. Trump, was so worried about death threats and kidnapping from the Russian mob that she attended this party accompanied by numerous bodyguards. Ivana Trump in 2006 told the New York Post, and I'm quoting, "I'm terrified for my life." Why would the first Mrs. Trump be terrified of the Russian mob? At the time, was the Russian mob in the habit of targeting random New York women? Not likely. Or is it more likely that her husband owed them a shit ton of money? Look, it takes the mainstream media a very long time to bring allegations and evidence to light. From the first story on Watergate to Nixon's resignation was 2 years. And we don't have that kind of time. And yet, There are a few dozen independent journalists on Twitter who almost round the clock have scoops, updates, and details on various aspects of the Trump-Russia story, including allegations of money laundering, voter registration theft, other data theft, how the Russians targeted fake news at voters most likely to be susceptible, the shady dealings of Paul Manafort, Carter Page, and Mike Flynn, and, perhaps most significantly, that there are now 3 federal grand juries investigating Trump's Russia connections, 2 of which were confirmed by FBI Director James Comey.
So in the investigations that you're currently doing on the Russian interference and the Trump team's relationship, are you coordinating with any U.S. Attorney's Office on those investigations?
Well, 2 sets of prosecutors, Maine Justice, the National Security Division, and the Eastern District of Virginia U.S. Attorney's Office.
And yet, so far, not a single mainstream media source other than Keith Olbermann has reported that set of facts. If the American democracy experiment is going to continue unfettered, it is absolutely imperative that everyone stay informed. The survival of our nation is not a partisan issue. So I urge you to please follow these journalists on Twitter. Demand that their investigations get wider coverage and that the mainstream media bring the resources it does to investigating Kim Kardashian's ass, to investigating the most dangerous attack on U.S. soil in this nation's history. Look, if you found this video helpful, please share it on social media and help us to spread the word. Also, if you would like to go to the website trumprussia.tv, you can also see the episode of Be Less Stupid, where I outlined more than 30 plus of Trump's connections with Russia. You can also see every episode of Be Less Stupid, there's almost 50 of them now, at our streaming service, factbox.tv. Again, that is factbox.tv. You can also go to trumprussia.tv and see our video that puts together all of Trump's, well, maybe not all, but 30 plus of Trump's connections with Russia. That's it. I'll see you next time.